People, hello, Harvey. Hopefully we're all doing well. I'm Tom. Firstly, before I say anything, what a great fight we saw on Saturday night. High level fight, a close fight, a good fight. It wasn't Boots' best performance. Of course, I'll admit that. I think he'll admit that. I think most people will admit that. But it was still a good fight, a close fight, and a high level fight. 119-107, 117-109, and 116-110. What a joke. I made a video the other day, last week, saying there's a disease in this sport and it's the judging. The judging in boxing is a disease. And then literally on the weekend of that video, we get another example of this. 119-107. Where do I even begin? I mean, that's crazy. How you give Chuk one round is beyond me. It's just beyond me. Look, do you know what I mean? I'm almost dumbfounded. I'm almost lost for words. Judging in this sport repeatedly, time and time again, is awful. It's just stupid. It's awful, and it's a constant problem that we're constantly talking about, and it needs to stop. But we can't stop talking about it and pretend it's not happening. It needs to stop, as in the judging needs to stop being like this. I actually feel a bit bad for Chuk. His team deserved the respect of, hey, look, you didn't win, but you fought a close fight. You fought a good fight, and you went out on your shield. You lost, but you put up a good performance. You put up a good fight. But no, the disease of boxing strikes again, and he went in there and won. And this is the issue. And, you know, a big name like Boots, on a big promotion like Matchroom, where they've already got, you know, other fights lined up, the outcome's cut and dry before you even step in the ring. I mean, 119-107, that card must have been made before they even stepped in there. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And you've taken that away from him. Look, 116, was it 116-110? 116-110. That's the only card I can somewhat get behind. But even so, I mean, I had it 7-5, 8-4 maybe, but that's crazy. That is crazy to give him 119-107. It's so disrespectful. It's awful. It's an awful look for the sport. And yet again, you're detracting from what was a good fight with the scorecards, as we see it all the time. Bivol Beterbiev, you know, all the time we see this, and it's every weekend. It needs sorting. We saw Chuk come forward and bring the pressure, and that's a style we didn't really expect from him. We didn't expect him to do that, and I think that's what perhaps made Boots have. I think that's probably the worst I've seen him perform. So I think that's what caused that. It made Boots have perhaps his worst performance, certainly the worst that I've seen, and credit to Chuk for that. And to be fair to Boots, even though it was perhaps his worst performance, he still came away with a win, and, you know, a knockdown. He hurt him. So that shows the level he is. So fair play to him. And this is what I mean. It was a high level fight. It was a good fight. It was a close fight. But my issue is, why have the judges done that? There was no need to make it look like it was a whitewash when it just wasn't. It was a very close fight. And look, I think it will give Boots a lot to think about going forward, and perhaps a change for his corner. You know, if I'm Boots, I'm not happy with that performance at all. And I think he'll know those scorecards massively flattered him. I think his corner knows that. I think his corner knew that. I think his dad knows that. It wasn't his best performance at all. I don't think he'll be happy with that performance. As for what next, he'll have a few different options. Given his name, you know, the size of fighter he is, who he's promoted by, he's going to have a few different options. Which one would he take? I think given that wasn't exactly the statement performance we were all wanting to see, hoping for, and he was hoping to put on, he's going to go one of two ways. He's either going to go and fight a slightly lower ranked guy in order to get that statement performance, get some confidence back, and put some belief back in everyone. Or he's just going to go ahead and fight Virgil Ortiz in what is, you know, the rumoured 5 versus 5, Oscar De La Hoya versus Matchroom. I think it's going to go one of those two ways. I think they're probably in talks for Virgil Ortiz versus Boots Ennis. And I think this is one of those where, although he'd probably like to fight a slightly lower ranked guy and get that statement performance, get back on form, get his confidence back, no more banana skins. We've learned from a lot of divisions, you know, the heavyweight division, not least of which. Stop putting big fights on hold. Stop making these semi-final matchups to put big fights on hold and just make the big fights. Make the fights when they're there, and it's there, it's in front of them. I think they've got to make it. That's my thoughts, people. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Sorry to have another ranty, annoying style video about judging, but I think it's got to be mentioned. Let me know your thoughts, people. Like I say, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. You know how YouTube works, people. Peace.